So the big question, should you wait for this on streaming or should you watch this on the big screens? Because it's a big action movie, right? This is not what you think it is. Because obviously when you hear of David Leitch, you think Bullet Train, you think Atomic Blonde, you think gritty, badass action. You know, Ryan Gosling, Emily Blunt. You think this is going to be a really good action-packed movie. But my experience with this movie was that it was more of a romance with a bit of comedy in it. Especially when it comes to the character of Emily Blunt. Emily Blunt's character and Ryan Gosling's character, because those are the characters that we follow through the movie. There's a relationship that is going on between the two of them. And so you get that they focused more on the romance between these two characters more than anything. Yes, The Fall Guy is based on an old show from the 80s that focused on stunt people. And this one too is a movie about stunt people. Actually, it's made clear from the word go, because the action for the majority of the part is, we're watching action, but it's action from a movie that is being produced. So you can see all the behind the scenes stuff, and they use the majority of that to actually keep the movie exciting throughout. So, does it work or does it not work? I think it is, especially when it comes to the character of Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt. Their chemistry is way up there, because for me, the first hour, it was more enjoyable watching their story unfold. It was more enjoyable watching how they were reacting to whatever happened to them. Because the character of Ryan Gosling, the movie begins with him having an incident whereby he gets injured during a production, and so he has to stay off and become a valet because he felt that injury might have done something. Let me just put it that way. Now, during that period, he had a relationship with a camera woman, and so when he goes to become a valet, he's like, I'm not going to do stunt work again, and he kind of separates himself from the camera woman. And so during that time when he's a valet, he gets a call from one of the producers, and she's like, yo dude, you need to come, you know that you're having a difficult time, you know that you're having your challenges, you need to come through so that you can actually work on this particular film. It's a big one, and most importantly, remember the camera girl that you had a relationship with, she's now a director, she's working on that film, you need to come through and become a part of the production. Do it for her, if not for yourself. And so he decides to go ahead and do it, but then as the movie continues, because they go to shoot in Australia, and then there are other things that are happening there. I don't want to spoil it for you guys. There are other things that are happening there that involve a character that we've seen before, and there are other actors that we've very popular actors that are within the film. I don't intend to spoil for you for your experience. There are faces that come up and you're like, oh, okay, so he's in the movie, oh, she's in the movie. And so you go now into, at a particular point, I think by the hour, once the first hour is done, you go into now a mystery movie, because there's something that happened, and there are people that actually, there's someone that died, and now someone is framed, and now they have to go into an investigation. There's a crazy chase scene, and then now they have to try to clear this person's name. And you get that fulfilling third act. Actually, the third act is very explosive, it's very colorful, but it's not the way you would think of a third act, because the third act is focused on being such an intense action set piece. But this one, they tried to make it more playful. They utilized the stunt aspect of the movie to actually make the third act feel much more, exciting. Now, this is a pleasant experience, but for me, the movie actually began at the second hour, because I felt like the first hour was more focused on introducing us to these characters and putting us in the mind of this Emily Blunt and Ryan Gosling. Especially the first time that they have, Emily Blunt discovers that Ryan Gosling is a part of the stunt team. There's a scene that they actually do something with fire. If you see it, you'll know it, where she just kind of tortures him, trying to explain to him what she had to go through after he left. I thought that was cleverly done. There's a karaoke, which I thought was also well done. There's a dog that is actually a very fun part of the movie. I like the way that he was used. And so this is a pleasant experience that you could have in the cinemas with your friend, especially if you're in a relationship. It's a very playful, romantic comedy that doesn't take itself too serious and allows itself to play. It allows itself to be vulnerable and just easy on the mind, despite the fact that some action set pieces feel serious. It still has those hard knuckle fight scenes, but it still maintains the romance and the comedy at the right places. So yeah, this is worth your money in the big screens in the cinema. If you can get an opportunity to actually see this with your friends, just go see it with your friends, because it's much more fun with your friends than just you being there alone. And yeah, basically that's it. The performances are awesome. As I said, there's some characters that I don't think they're in the trailer. They've been shown in the trailer. I don't want to spoil it for you guys. There are other characters who are introduced, familiar faces, and the way they play into the main actor and the stuntman, I think it was pretty cool. It was hilarious to think that some actors actually behaved the way that the main actor was behaving, and the revolutions are so satisfying, because the setup, they used an hour to set up the movie. So when the second hour comes in, things just stick. The pacing becomes better, the editing becomes better, and now the revolutions, when you learn new things about maybe the actor, the producer, you're like, wow, this is so well stitched together. I mean, this is impressively put together in terms of a story. It makes the first hour worth it. Let me just put it that way. So go see this movie if you have the chance. It's a fun movie. If I was to give this out of 5, I would give this a 3.7 out of 5. Yeah, I had a great time apart from that first hour. The performances are awesome. I just love Emily Blunt. I think she's awesome. And I've noticed that in every of her movies, she kind of has chemistry with whoever she's playing with. If it's The Rock, if it's Tom Cruise, now if it's Ryan Gosling, she just has a way of, bringing out the best out of the other performer. Ryan Gosling is cool, as always. He's awesome, but this time he's more, you can feel he's more loose. He's actually funny, and he doesn't take himself too seriously. This is not Blade Runner 2047. So basically that's it. Remember to always watch what you enjoy and enjoy what you watch. I shall see you on the next one. Thanks for watching this. Please subscribe. I'm on a journey to 100k. That is so far away. Wow, 100k. Is that even possible? Anyway, we'll see if we'll get there. So please subscribe, and I shall see you on the next one.